Hello, Eternal friends! Good to see you again. I have another deck tech for you today. I haven't been doing as many deck tech videos recently. I haven't been playing as much Eternal recently. I've been really into things like Among Us, but also I've wanted to do another video specifically on all of the community ratings on Eternal Warcry, like my last one. But I've been playing this deck, and over the last couple days, it has brought me from Gold 1, like I said, I haven't been playing much, to Diamond 1, like just incredibly fast. And it's a blast because I meant to do it as a joke. And I don't think that the deck is good, but I think it's good enough. It's probably good enough to make it to Masters for sure. And I mean, it's just been really stupid fun to play. So the deck we are looking at is Awakenings. And it is, as you guessed, Deleph Awakening. So I only have 3 of them because I didn't actually buy the promo, but I've gotten 3 copies of it now. I don't actually know that it's necessary, although it's a blast when it starts working. It's a pretty wild card. So if you haven't seen it, you make a copy of each card in your deck with a different name. So each card gets a copy. So like, you'd get 1 copy of each of these. It doesn't have to be like a card with like a 1 of, right? Like it doesn't have to be that. It's just you get 1 copy of each card that's already in your deck. And then you shuffle them in. So you do shuffle. You don't get to like scry onto the top and keep them on top. It shuffles the entire deck much like Lumen Reclaimer does. And then you draw a card for every 10 cards in your void. I just finished a game where I, no joke, drew 20 cards off of Deleph's Awakening. I wish that I had been recording it. It went a little while. In any case, this deck is really, really fun. I've done some similar things in the past, but this one has been really interesting. Just, I don't know, absolutely wild. We have, essentially the plan is, obviously, with Deleph's Awakening, to dump a lot of cards into your Void, get advantage off of that, use this to draw extra cards, and then just continue to churn out value. One of the most powerful cards to do that, probably just the most powerful card to do that, is Katra, the first seal. So spells can't leave the enemy void. You get Surge, +1/+1, you gain a life, and then when it summons, this is the very important part, you play a power card from your void depleted for each of your units. So you try and dump a bunch of things into your void, and then you play this, get back 2 or 3 power, sometimes a lot more than that, and it makes itself very large immediately and ramps you a whole bunch and gains you a bunch of life back. Now, the rest of the deck is kind of just all built around that. So it's a lot of cultists, because cultists have a lot of advantages to do this kind of thing. You have High Prophet of Souls. So you've got 4 of those that you can get a whole lot of extra power by milling all of your cultists. Zhen-Zu, Hand of Nahid, again, another just large threat, much like Katra, and also gains you a bunch of life back, which is important. Makes you so that you're discarding the top card of your turn as well, so that you're able to kind of continue fueling everything that you need to have going on here. You've got Eager Offering, immediate sacrifice for Zhen-Zu, High Profit, and also a way to draw extra cards. Merchant, obviously, to go to the market. Sunset Priest, just another way to mill yourself, and another cultist, so that you can mill it as well and have these trigger. You got the Katra, like we talked about, and then Spicy Brew, we have Royal Guardian. So you gain life equal to the number of cards in your Void if a unit has already gone to your Void this turn. And then when it infiltrates, you create and draw a Hall of Lost Kings. I've never actually played a Hall of Lost Kings in this deck, even though I've been playing it a lot. But the life gain is incredibly important. 2 is about the right spot to be, though. You don't want too many of them. Like, they're bad to have in your starting hand kind of thing. But they're absolutely amazing later on. Mostly once you get Invoke the Waystones going. So, good way to discard a bunch of cards. We're talking about, like, Sunset Priest will help with that, but also a really big one is going to be the Invoke the Waystones. So you discard the top 4 cards, play the top card of your deck, and then you get a copy of this with its cost increased by 1 at the end of the turn. And it is incredibly powerful with the Katra, Zhen-Zu, High Profit kind of strategy here. We have some Call the decks to just draw the cards that we desire. Same with Devour. It's also good as protection for your units. You really don't want to have, like, Lumen Reclaimer get turn-to-seated. You don't want to have those kinds of things happen. So it's nice to have a Devour to be able to sacrifice it. Just protect your unit, stop your opponent from being able to do any shenanigans to it, like silence or turn to seed, stuff like that. It could be real bad if that happens. Generally, it's been okay, but it's nice to have these. I've definitely used them as protection before. We have some banishes, just as a little bit of interaction and removal. Some dark returns to get back important key pieces that we might mill, like Katra, or again, the Lumen Reclaimers. Honestly, Aurelian Merchant's one that I often get back. And yeah, I mean, this deck has just been an absolute blast. The power base is kind of standard. You've got 4 banners, Insignia, because you don't have any non-Xenan cards, Crests and Cylixes, and then just regular time. The market, I need to find something else instead of Arcanum Hourglass. I don't find that that's actually been useful in enough games. Like, I've actually had enough trouble getting power into my Void for Katra, so I don't think that Arcanum Hourglass is honestly necessary. The more that I've played with this, it was an early test thing, and I think Arcanum Hourglass can go. But I do like Coslo, Friendly Scavenger, so you can use it to just wipe out an early aggressive deck, and then it'll also help you discard cards, which is fantastic. We've got Lumen Reclaimer, which is incredibly necessary. You have to have it. Once you start getting Invoke the Waystones going, you will mill yourself out very, very quickly. Invoke plus High Profit of Soul means that your power just kind of keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up, and it's very easy to just cast multiple Invoke the Waystones a turn and mill yourself out in like 2-3 turns once you start doing it. So you have to get the Lumen Reclaimers online. Sometimes you need to actually slow down and make sure that you're getting a merchant, or just hold one in hand so that you can make sure you get the Lumen Reclaimer. We have Xenan Temple, which has been an absolute house. You can steal important cards from your opponents, shuffle them back in with Lumen Reclaimer. Obviously, giving Killer is a way for us to interact. And then Xenan Augury just kind of lets us draw necessary pieces of the combo. Synergies anyways. Then we've got Passage of Eons as well, just get rid of any annoying relics. One that I love playing mill decks with this because it absolutely eats mill decks. Mill is something that you want to happen to yourself, so it's great to see them. The one exception is that if they use the Tome of Horrors a lot to steal cards out of your deck, that can be extremely obnoxious. So you want Passage of Eons to be able to get rid of that. Obviously, there's tons and tons and tons of other really good artifacts. Relics that have been going around. Lots of rat decks and stuff like that have made it around for the last month or two. And Passage of Eons just kind of cleans up all of it. Then, of course, it also gets rid of any flyers. I think that what we want to do is get rid of Arcanum Hourglass, and I would put in the Sandstorm Scarf, maybe. Just stop people from flying at us. So I'm going to do that right now, and we'll see how that works. Because that is one of the things that can be very obnoxious to this, is that flyers can get you before you can stop them. So it's not a bad idea to just, like, Sandstorm Scarf and prevent them from having any flyers, and then we don't have to worry about it. In any case, this is the deck, and it's been a blast. I'm going to run 5 games with it. We'll see how many we win. Thank you all for being patient with me as I've been putting together some of these longer form videos. I really appreciate it. And join me for the next video on the actual matches. See you soon.